guys, Mamuka say, Masquera say, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Today we are back with another episode where we're talking and where we're talking and where we're talking. I'm your boy Malvin, and I'm here with the one and only, the amazing drum roll, mental health babe.
Yes, I'm Diana. Because you called yourself Malvin today. Because I'm
yeah, Malvin. Yeah, I'm gonna help you.
Coach Malo.
Yeah. So yeah, today is quite interesting, because it's quite interesting.
What's interesting about you?
What's interesting is the way I see about myself, the way I'm seeing myself, the way I'm envisioning myself.
Okay, phone.
Dial
911. What's the emergency? So yeah, the emergency here now is that we want to talk about you. Whom do you think you are? Self-reflection, self. It's never about anyone else but you. So we want to talk about self-reflection. Whom do you think you are, and what do you perceive yourself as, and what other people do think about you? It's very important, right?
Yeah, it is. There's also a part where even Jesus asked people, "Who do you think I am?" And they answered,
"You are Moses."
Some say you are that, some say you are that.
Yeah, if you ever ask anyone a question of who you are, I thought you'd be confused. Like, I look like my other sister. So this was the day I was working, and this person called me Sadie. Like, I knew this is my sister. There's no other person with this name. Like, hi, like, say. Then we had a conversation, and deep down I was like asking myself, do I really look like Sunny? Oh, yeah. So self-reflection is very important. And the way that I talked, the way that I addressed him and everything, he even thought I was my sister. To the extent that he went, and deep down in his mind, he was thinking he talked to my sister, not me, and of which it was
the opposite.
It was the opposite. So
perception.
The perception, the way you talk, the way you just say, he thought could autagana Seni because I addressed him like what Seni is. But who are you?
Who are you? Umbori ani. Urimbori ani. Umbori ani is who are you?
Yeah.
Ubani lo. It's working. 2024 goals. It's working.
It's okay. So when you're talking about self-reflection, there's this thing that we always do as human beings. I don't know whether it's conscious or subconscious or unconscious. What we do is we deny ourselves just because of the environment that we are in. And when you are with other people that are fancy or bougie, you try to act like you have got so many faces that you show up depending on who you are with and which environment.
I think it's a coping mechanism that we as people have adopted. But you cannot, why you score in a certain platform or certain space, you then quickly adapt so that you're part of the setting.
But is it a good thing to do that so that you can be adapting, like you're a chameleon, there, so you're changing colors and
That's a good question.
But no, everyone, when you are the real you, when you're uncomfortable in your own shoes, people will they be able to pick that's you?
That's a very interesting question.
Because majority of us, because I do that sometimes, and when I am myself, I feel like I'm dying inside sometimes because you have so many things that will be happening to you. But when you're outside, you're this other person. When you're this with the happy crew, you're happy. When you're with the sad crew, you're the saddest. When you're with the good people, you're the goodest. If there is a word that exists like that. So who are you? You need to reflect on yourself. And also just because one thing that I've noticed when it comes to those things, we end up being whom we are not
Yeah. Yeah.
just because we
You're
are trying to
to
be
something.
somebody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we end up having this identity
Crisis.
crisis.
Yeah.
Who am I when I'm at? Then you end up creating so many falsehoods
False
and
identities and about you stop in like in a big ditch, because you're trying to, every single time you're trying to pretend to be someone, and you then having these personalities, multiple personalities, and before you know it, you're now leaving the personalities and neglecting or rapping the real you, so that asabudiki, and then you end up even to suppress your abilities and so many things there that you
yeah, just
can do.
because you when you are with the Tao people, you try to be Tao,
Yeah.
and you definitely know that you can do this, and you end up just being a yes man sometimes just because you want to fit in.
Yeah, and that's a dangerous ditch to be in.
So we're talking now about self-reflection.
Yeah.
Reflect on yourself, who you are. Now that you have these multiple personalities, I know you are not the only one, I'm not the only one, he is not the only one. I think to some extent we all have got that personality.
We all do have.
That we do, and we end up being confused. It might not be a huge deal, but it's a huge deal at the end of the day, just because it's something. And you start with the little traits and they become habits, and habits become characters, and at the end of the day you're a totally different person that is not whom you want to be. So when you're reflecting on yourself, you need to look deep down on what you want to do and be as an individual.
I remember growing up, we used to watch a movie called Who Am I? The guy would go, I quite don't remember, but there was a time and moment where he went out in the forest and then he screamed, "Who am I?" I think it was Jackie Chan or something. I don't quite remember, but it was called Who Am I? He even got to that point where he was asking himself, who am I?
So self-reflection at the end of the day is something that is very important. So, everyone knows Coach Malvin. Like, yes, we might have other little traits that you have, but let them synchronize to who you are as a individual wholly. I am known to be the mental health bay. If you had to ask me now about anything about mental health, the go-to person, anything about wellness coaching, you come to me, I'll talk to you about it. So anytime I am addressed as a mental health bay, or if someone says mental health, I am likely to break my neck and just like
even when you're sleeping, you just
So that identity that I have just because it's created because of who I am and what I am doing and what I perceive myself to be. But majority of people don't know who they are. We end up blaming other people even if we do wrong, just because we're trying to paint a perfect picture. We end up just saying this is not what I want, knowing that because you're creating so many mental health issues within your mind, because you're saying you want to be the billionaire, you want to be in the Forbes magazine, you want to be the Bill Gates of tomorrow, the Strides Masiwo of tomorrow. You want to be
the Mallvine of tomorrow.
Oh, the Mallvine of tomorrow, and you are not that person as yet. And there's this saying that says, fake it till you make it. I don't really attest to that. I don't know if you do, because in trying to fake it till you make it, you're straining yourself and creating an illusion that you cannot run away from.
And you take the wrong identity and run with it. There's a song that Michael Jackson sang. He said, "I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. No matter the So he was just initially just saying, you know what, Start with the men in the mirror. You can't then go out there and start with the men you're seeing in the mirror. Ask him to change the ways so that you become a better person.
Yeah, and also talking about that, don't you feel proud to have a name to yourself? Not being the Strive Masiwa, not being the Bill Gates, because that's not your name. There was this other session that Makandiwa had, and I watched it. There was a man in the congregation saying, I want to be you. I want to be Makandiwa. And he said, do you know what Makandiwa has and what Makandiwa?
Yeah.
Anti saka wakatuka kuti wave Makandiwa. Une mweya kumba kwavo kwamakandiwa ichakutera yekwenyu ichakutera and so many things. So maybe if you are to take the good traits, because we all make mistakes. We are not perfect, we are not anything. So in trying to reflect on who you are, try to see what good traits you have, what good traits does your role model or someone you admire, because worshiping someone is not good. Someone whom you admire, and take the traits and then try to blend and live and lead that way. I think from there, as a reflection of what you want to be, and you start acting according to it. And what you do best is a reflection of you as an individual. So a lot of people, if you look as we start the year with what we have been talking about the past 2 episodes about goal setting, about the fears and everything, we end up not being able to see or walking in that way. Why? Just because the goals that we have set are for somebody because we want to be somebody. But do you really want to be? You admire that person, but that doesn't really mean you admire you can be that person. You can be better. You can just be unique to that person and make the name also.
Oh yeah, true. So a lot of us, we find ourselves in trouble, and we are actually in trouble for the past few years that we've been on this earth, because we are mirroring someone. We are literally living a life of someone because we don't know who we are. We don't know who we are. And if we were to talk, the Bible speaks of, let us go back to the roots where it started. Why did God create us? Why were you created? God did not create us just to and put on these fancy things and eat these fancy meals, but He made us to be on this earth in this particular season for a reason. So if I am to live Diana's life, I'm in trouble.
He's not in trouble. You are not in trouble. You can be me at the end of the day. But it's hard.
It's hard because I don't know the struggles that she went through. For her to be here smiling, I don't know what she's going through, what she has had to fight, what battles she had to go through just to be here smiling. If she wants to be me, she doesn't know what I'm going through. So at the end of the day, you spend time fighting things that you don't know, that you don't understand, and that you're not equipped.
Yeah, because I cannot be you.
No, you will never.
I can just imagine
just
the
beard. You can't.
I know, the little struggles. So sometimes embracing who you are, because we need to reflect and then embrace who we are. Because when you reflect on yourself, now that you know Diana doesn't like this, Diana doesn't do this, Diana is very good at this, Diana can do this, Diana cannot do this, because yes men just because you want to be the superman or the superwoman out there. Women, we are not super women. So that you can be that person that you think you're going to be. We don't want to be you to go out there and just trying to please the world and not please yourself. But now, just because you know you are good at that one thing, focus on one
Focus.
thing,
Yeah.
and you can make yourself and make other things easier.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if you focus on what's good for you, you make money out of it.
Oh, yeah.
You can afford house help. You can afford fancy cars. You can afford, but just because you are forgetting that little thing that you're good, that somebody is good at and you're not good at, and you try so hard to be that person, you're not reflecting, but you're deflecting yourself, because
Ooh.
this is something that was you. This is something that is not you.
Bomir, you spoke about reflecting and deflecting. Say that again. You're supposed to say
If you are not focusing on what you're good at, you are deflecting and
Icho.
not reflecting
Icho.
on who you are.
Icho deflecting. Overend uko. Said they went uko. And that's bad.
So we need to know who we are so that we can focus on that best. Because zvimwe zvinhu zvinotikanganisa unodza kusareflecta nekuita sei inyaya yekuti ukutanga negore ukuseta goya nhingi nekuti nhingi akachiita ndochiita tanga tiri mabaddies taitodzidza tese takaita zvinhu zvese izvi kuchikoro saka ndozvitadza nei guys. No, but that's not your strength. Maybe he had to nitty gritties that he was working on. Chakamboita experience. Iwo paunozosvika uda kuti 1 2 mugomba d wakutadza kubuda, instead of you now focusing kuti in as much as we are, but I think if I really divert it and just make it unique to me, you will see you can be unique. Vangani vaida kubudisa vaida kuita ma-networks muno mwana econnect vamwe vasi ma-telecoms muno, but Strive Masiwa believed in himself and he had something unique that he was pushing, his goal, his dream that he knew he could fight for. Because mamwe demons atinosangana now, we've got so many vendettas out there that are hidden in closets that we're fighting. Senge zvangachitaura kuti madhimoni adhayana haakwanisi mafaita kana ave dhayana, but kana ari iye because anomaziva kuti aiwa ndinomati ndigoti, I can face them, I can face my fears, and I can just could destroy all the vendettas that are hidden just because they are. So learn to live and be there for yourself more than being for someone, because living someone's dream, you're helping them live their dream and not living yours.
One of the things my mentor told me before he passed away, he said, "Inindini, you inindini." So already that put a distinction between me and Diane and I, and so is between you and the next person. You will never be like the person next to you, or the next person can never be like you, but you can copy certain things, you can take certain things and put them to work into your life. And the other thing that I want to let you guys know is the more I try to be like her, I'm wasting energy, I'm using a lot of resources, I'm investing a lot of finances just to be like her, and it's not the cost. And I'm like what she said, I'm diverting, I'm moving away from what I was meant to be and to minister to. So you don't want to lose time. You don't want to be a Jonah to go to Tashish when you're supposed to go somewhere.
But also disappear 3 days.
And it's not something that is good, because you're wasting time, you're wasting energy, resources, and then cause it is burnout. The more you deflect from what you're supposed to do, burnout. Kurova like to bed. And nowadays, kwane issues in mental health. No person were depressed. Say zvisiri kushanda, say zvisiri kufamba. Ndokutadza chii? Ndikushanda wani, but you're doing something that is not you. You're doing something that is not yours. Zvangofana kuti uda kuconnecta negative nenegative. So what we are saying is, guys, this year let's reflect on what are you supposed to be doing and move with it. It's not going to be an easy process for you to sit down and start thinking of all these things, but it is important. it is of paramount importance that you reflect and to know who you are and focus on what needs to be done.
Yeah, and leaving you with self reflection. This is one of the most important things as the year begins because it makes your life easier. Akambofamba uchinyatsoziva kuti ndikuita chinhu chandinogona. It helps you realize your purpose, kuti ichi ndicho chandakafanira kuita. And the little things we do matter most. What you need to do as I leave you to this action. Take action on reflecting. It was that in Dine Ani. Take action on doing those things because it gives you energy. If you see something that's demotivating you, that thing is not meant for you.
And as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with the scripture that I've been saying for the past episodes, and that has been my anchor scripture for this year. Proverbs 23 verse 7, it says, as a man thinketh,
so is he. So be you.
So be you and stick to you. Stick to you. Anichika. So
as we end this episode, we just want to thank you for watching all the other episodes and look forward. And also, please do share with us what exactly do you think one can do so that they can be able to reflect and live a fulfilled life.
Yeah. And also, please do share with us what you'd want us to talk about and discuss. Because what we can discuss is we can also be helping someone out there. So do let us know what you'd want us to talk about, and then we can do our best to do it.
Till next time, it's a goodbye.